Welcome to Neural News Hub. Today, we're diving into the Global Intelligence Briefing for February 21st, 2026. We are in a world at a turning point where huge decisions on trade, military power, and artificial intelligence are literally reshaping the planet. Let's connect the dots. Okay, so our story really kicks off with a bombshell decision from the US Supreme Court. They've just struck down the administration's sweeping global tariffs, the ones put in place using emergency powers. Now, as Professor Frank Bowman puts it, the court didn't just see this as an economic issue. No, they saw it as a massive executive overreach, a direct challenge to the rule of law. The goal here was clearly to rein in presidential authority. But as you're about to see, the fallout was immediate and global. The White House response? It was swift and it was defiant. Within hours, a brand new executive order drops, slapping a blanket 10% tariff on all imports. So what's the takeaway? Instead of cooling things down, the administration just cranked up the heat, igniting a whole new global trade crisis and sending every other nation scrambling to figure out their next move. And here's a quick snapshot of that immediate fallout. Just look at the chaos. South Korea is now having second thoughts about a recent trade deal. India, they've hit the pause button on their own negotiations. Now, China is an interesting case. They might actually get a bit of a break here, with their total tariff burden potentially dropping. And up in North America, Canada's got mixed feelings, happy about the ruling, but still stuck with other tariffs. Mexico is mostly shielded by its trade pact, but even they're treading very carefully. The bottom line is, the entire global trading system has just been thrown into complete and utter uncertainty. This kind of global chaos forces countries to get creative and forge new alliances. Take this. India and Brazil have just inked a major deal on critical minerals and rare earths. Now, this is so much more than just a trade agreement. It's a deeply strategic play to build new supply chains that are not dependent on China. And here's the crucial part. These materials have a dual use. They're not just in your smartphone. They are absolutely essential for building advanced military tech, everything from jet engines to guided missiles. And you can see this focus on securing strategic assets reflected in India's military shopping list. In a massive deal with France, India is buying 26 advanced Rafale Marine fighter jets. This isn't just about getting some shiny new planes. No, this is all about power projection, about securing its strategic interests across the entire Indo-Pacific region, which, is an essential pillar of their foreign policy. And that partnership with France goes way beyond just military hardware. It goes right into the heart of future technology. They've launched a joint AI roadmap, and listen to the language they're using: safe, open, secure, and trustworthy AI. That's so important. It tells you this isn't just about who can build the smartest tech. It's about who gets to write the rules that will govern that tech for everyone. By bringing together their best and brightest, startups, researchers, industry, this partnership is a clear signal. It's positioning India to become a genuine tech superpower, with AI at the very center of its global ambitions. Okay, let's head back to Washington, where President Trump is pushing forward with his own diplomatic vision, something called the Border of Peace. Now, it started with a focus on Gaza, but its mission has now ballooned to resolving global conflict. And that, of course, raises a huge question. Is this meant to challenge the United Nations? So how is India playing this? Well, very carefully. They've decided to join only as an observer. This gives them a front row seat to see how the power dynamics play out, especially with Pakistan being a full member, but without getting tangled up in what could be a really controversial and frankly untested initiative. This whole web of strategic partnerships also loops back to the absolute bedrock of national power: energy security. India is embarking on an incredibly ambitious mission to generate 100 gigawatts of nuclear power by 2047. The engine behind this is the Shanti Act, a landmark reform that opens the door to private investment in the nuclear sector for the very first time. And a huge piece of this puzzle is their partnership with, you guessed it, France, working on next-gen small modular reactors. We're talking smaller, more flexible, and potentially safer nuclear plants. Believe me, this isn't just about electricity. This is about achieving true energy independence, the kind that's absolutely vital to support a modern military and a robust economy. All these geopolitical chess moves, well, they cause ripples that spread into some pretty unexpected places, like international sports. We're seeing that right now with the International Paralympic Committee's decision to reverse its ban on Russian athletes. So, after years of competing as neutrals without a flag because of sanctions, they're now going to be back with full national representation at the upcoming games. It's a really significant move, and it just goes to show how politics can reshape the landscape of even supposedly non-political events. And finally, let's turn to the world of sports, where another kind of global contest is heating up. A critical T20 World Cup cricket match between Pakistan and New Zealand is now under threat from rain. It's actually a pretty good metaphor for the world right now. It doesn't matter how carefully nations plan their moves in trade or diplomacy or defense, there are always these unpredictable forces that can just change the entire game in a heartbeat. What all of this shows us is a world being actively remade right in front of our faces. A single court ruling in one country can set off this cascade of strategic realignment all across the globe. The big takeaway here is that in this new era, economic, military, and technological power are all tangled together more than ever before. Which leaves us with the big question. As these new alliances harden, who is ultimately going to set the rules for the 21st century?